Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris.
We're doing 4 months of long-term, unconventional, do-it-yourself style travel through Ontario, Quebec, Greece, and Italy. This week we're hanging out in Carleton Place, Ontario, a town located about 30 miles or 50 kilometers west of Ottawa. And what I'm most excited about today is we're meeting some locals who are building a half-size replica of a World War I plane to honor their town's most famous citizen.
We get a newsletter from the UK shed, and one of the sheds there built this for the equivalent of this for an anniversary at the RAF. So I sent an email. I called Robbie Probert, who's the museum here for the Roy Brown, and I said you should email these guys and ask them if they send us a plan. So they did. So anyway, the plans turned out to be one piece of paper of a model Sopwith Camel. So Doug built the box. John Peters built the propeller. We'll do one of these with hand and then we'll get a machine, This guy who does bikes in town, I'm afraid I've forgotten his name anyway, he did all these up for me. And they're about 2 inches too big. Okay. We really only finished this one wing. Doug and John were working on the other, and then summer came or something, I'm not sure what. Well, there's 2 more to go because it's a biplane. Well, there's 4 of these altogether.
We're getting there though.
We have these bits. This is for the next wing. So these sort of go here, but we need the wing to sort that out, really. So it does have some controls, but I was looking last night to see whether I could get it wired, but there's no chance. So this is the gun trigger. We're waiting for 2 guns, the Vickers guns. They go on here. So this will get wired to a panel at the back. There's some, and then these 2 switches are the magneto switches. So I think the magnetos ran like 3 and 7, would it be? No, how many of these are there? 9.
So the whole engine and propeller are tied together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everything turns at the same speed.
Okay.
In reality.
Yeah. Okay. So and that's how they cooled the motor.
Right.
But the difficulty with that was that when it was spinning to like this, okay, to run the plane, the centrifugal force of the engine forced the plane to turn to the right all the time.
The guy who shot down the Red Baron with one of these, Roy Brown, he was born in town here. So there's a connection, and there's actually a Roy Brown museum. I'm not sure that's the proper name of it.
Yeah.
The whole men's shed thing's from Australia, but I think it started off with Doug Mackey in Winnipeg. I think he had a granddaughter in Australia who wrote to him and said, you should look this up. Well, there wasn't any, so he started one in Winnipeg, and then they brought him out here to Almont actually, and there was a sort of good gathering there of old guys like me, and 4 of us were from Carleton Place, so we sort of started talking about a men's shed without ever having anything, Before we did this, we built a shed, a garden shed for the local food bank. I started off with this, I think.
Yeah, the body.
Like the cockpit area. I have a CNC machine, so all this is cut on a CNC. we got decent plans for a propeller. I'm not sure it's the right one, but John's the carver, so he took that on. John carves figures about this big. We give him this propeller. And then I think I did the tail section here, and that was like 2 triangles, if you like, this here. So we got those on the table, and then we sort of filled it in. The hardest part was bending this around the back there. It kept splitting, especially here, but it's got together now.
All the wood is all repurposed wood.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't buy wood to make it. We just we collected wood. What we would do is we would rough cut a rib, and then all these little holes are specifically located so that the rib can go on there, and then we take a router and cut all the way around, and this allows the router to run around. Just so you don't lose the tools, you see, David has created this little key. This is the little key for tightening the rib on when you're you see that these screws go into these holes to tighten the rib on, so that when you're doing the routing, it's there, and then the key sits in there so you don't lose it.
Now let's see the men's shed near finished replica get put together on Fast Forward. The Hackberry Men's Shed is part of Men's Sheds of Canada, a non-profit organization that supports the well-being of older men through activities like woodworking and cooking, or just getting together for breakfast. If you're interested in finding out more about the sheds, check the link in the description below. Well, that was a lot of activity for the morning. Let's get some lunch. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel to follow our long-term, unconventional travel adventures.